They don't have a right to inherit the family business. There are all sorts of family businesses that are not farms, and people don't have the right, the God-given right, or the state-given right in this country to inherit it tax-free. We're making special pleading for farmers.
Got your message. But
what do doctors do? What do doctors do? Doctors keep us alive. They stop us from dying.
Up this land, Matthew?
We'll have to wait and see. And by the way, if there are, well, you can speculate. If there are unintended consequences, if the consequence of this policy, if the consequence of this policy is that we can't sustain ourselves with farms, which, by the way, I think is highly unlikely, the government will have to face the consequences of that. But this is nonsense propaganda.
And as a consequence, there are huge numbers of people, ordinary people, working people, heaven forbid, who are paying the price for this.
Sorry, huge numbers of people paying the price for this. Ben Leo just said on national television he's encouraging, effectively, the farmers to ruin the Christmas dinners of the people watching this programme so that wealthy landowners don't have to pay inheritance tax. I mean, this is astonishing.
What do you think is going to happen when farmers have to close down? Who's going to come in and take hold of those properties and the land?
Sorry, why are they going to have to close down? You're missing the point. You are making an assumption because you haven't necessarily thought this through, which is what you're accusing me of. Of course they are, because they don't want to pay inheritance tax. Who does? But if we don't pay inheritance tax, you're going to have to raise income tax. For example, let me finish my argument. You're going to have to raise income tax instead, right? So then they hand the farm over. The children are already doing something else, and they just inherit this enormous amount of property which they could then sell, and there's no inheritance tax paid on it. That is completely bonkers. There will be people watching this programme this morning who did set up builders merchants, who are doctors, who might live in a £2 million home that they'd love to hand over to their children tax-free. They have to pay tax on it. Why are we making such a fuss about farmers? I say again, I've got nothing against farmers. They work unbelievably hard, but why should their children inherit millions and millions and millions of pounds tax-free when our services are on their knees?